he worshipped Mussolini. He tried to meet him. He wrote him letters, he asked for autographs. And Mussolini said, "Who is this Austrian, this strange man who's trying to get to power?" And he ignored him.
But now we are at war. I love you all.
We want a better world.
Satan ist ein Symbol.
We often view Hitler as being Mussolini's master because of the way things ended up, where in 1943 Germany actually invaded Italy. This is a misperception. For a good decade or more, Mussolini was the fascist in power, and Hitler was trying to get into power. Fascism is something that today, like 100 years ago, is very complex, very misunderstood. It brought together things that were not supposed to be together. It said that nationalism could go with socialism, that class struggle could go with imperialism. And so it's not surprising that no one had any clue what Mussolini was talking about. So this led many people to say, is it left wing, is it right wing? So the genius of fascism as something new was that it put things together in a new way. Before that, the right, when we think of the right today, we think of fascism. But at the time, saying that you were on the right meant you were a conservative, perhaps a monarchist, perhaps deeply pious, this kind of conservatism. So fascism added something completely new to the political spectrum.
Fascism has been Mussolini's dream for 7 years. Now the March on Rome. His movement numbers 1 million members, including uniformed black shirts.
Hitler was very influenced by Mussolini's playbook, and in fact, in 1923, he had his beer hall putsch, was supposed to be his march on power, and it failed, and he went to jail. So when he got out, he was even more determined to figure out very closely what Mussolini had done to get into power. So they didn't meet until Venice in 1934, and Mussolini made sure that Hitler had to come onto Italian soil. And he wore a military uniform, and this put Hitler at disadvantage. He wished that he had worn a uniform as well. And their meeting didn't go very well in that Mussolini wasn't very impressed by Hitler. Mussolini was someone who respected men who looked very masculine. He looked at Hitler and said, "Who is this strange, pale, puffy man?" He also didn't like that Hitler lectured him for hours. Hitler tended to go on monologues, even when he was with people, about German superiority. So he found him tactless, strange, and he thought that he didn't have much future as a leader, even if he had managed to get into power. Mussolini invaded Ethiopia and became an international pariah. There were sanctions placed on Italy, and he needed a partner, as did Hitler. So the two of them got together and formed the Axis. The secret was that Hitler intended, eventually to make Mussolini his client, and he would be the patron, whereas until the end, Mussolini thought that they were parallel important leaders.